Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today with one of my absolute all-time favourite citrus scents. It is Renaissance by Xerjoff, released in 2011. As part of the 1861 collection alongside Naxos, which everybody knows and loves, but for summer it does not get much better than this. It's actually been quite a while since I've reviewed a fragrance that I've absolutely loved, especially after the past few cheapies. But if you're looking for a new, powerful citrus scent for summer, you can't go wrong with this one. Let's find out why. First, let's go to the note breakdown. So in the top you have Petitgrain, Mandarin, lemon and Bergamot with a heart of mint, lily the valley, Bulgarian rose, and last with the base of Musk, Cedar and Patchouli. Bottle is a pure 10 out of 10. There's no possible way to fault it. I mean, it looks incredible, luxurious, cap feels amazing, it's solid, it's sturdy, and of course the atomizer is pressurized to perfection. Absolutely love that. So let's give it a spray. Oh, wow, just incredible. I've actually had this in my collection for a year now, but I've only just cracked it open just in time for summer. Straight off the bat, you get an overwhelming but beautiful, crisp, zesty note of Petitgrain, which is one of my all-time favorite notes in perfumery. I mean, you may remember my review on Cousin Matthew by Penhaligon's, part of the Portraits collection. I gave this a 10 out of 10, and obviously this is going to be a 10 out of 10 as well, but similar facets in this one. It's a little more on the muskier and soapier side. This is a lot more cleaner, zestier, and fresher. I mean, Renaissance just smells absolutely organic, fresh, so natural, like a collection of citrus fruits all squeezed together, but without smelling like a juice. The lemon's in there only to give it a slight sense of brightness. It doesn't really take over the fragrance nor strip away from the more appealing parts like the Mandarin or Bergamot, but it really is that mint from the heart which creeps into the opening and gives it that sense of freshness as well. It just feels like wearing a summer cocktail, just beautiful. The things which you can't really detect in the heart of the Bulgarian rose, I don't smell that whatsoever, and you only get a tiny bit of that lily of the valley, which thankfully does not interrupt the citrusy elements. It just adds a very light floral element, but most people would not be able to detect that. Musk is one thing that often ruins a lot of citrus fragrances, but thankfully not for this one. It's not a dirty musk, it's very light, very clean, it's not soapy, but it's really just in there to give the fragrance its longevity and sense of transformation as it dries down. Same can be said about the cedarwood. It does not overtake the fragrance. I think a lot of brands make the mistake overdoing the woods in citrus fragrances where it really just messes up the whole transformation and ruins it, but this is just a very mild dose of cedarwood. And as for the patchouli, I honestly can't detect too much of that either. As for performance, this is one of the most strongest citrus fragrances I've ever worn. I know 8 hours doesn't really sound like a lot, but for a citrus fragrance it most definitely is. After the 4 or 5 hour mark though, it will turn into a tiny bit of a skin scent, but still present. Anytime I have worn this, people absolutely notice it without it being too distracting. It's safe for any occasion. I mean, it's not really a going out date scent, but hot summer day, office scent, whatever you want to call it, works. I think on average you get about a half meter of radius, which isn't too bad either. That being said, every day that I've actually worn this, it's been about 30 degrees, so obviously the humidity does help bring that fragrance along as well. It becomes a little more prone to evaporation, so give or take with the weather and humidity, you might even get a little longer out of this fragrance. But yeah, as I mentioned, the one thing that kind of differentiates itself from a lot of other citrus fragrances is that it does actually have a very pleasant dry down, and it's not all about that 10-minute opening. The fragrance is definitely not linear, but the opening is definitely present all throughout the entire dry down, as the other elements begin to come out a little more as well. In Australia, it currently goes for $399 Australian dollars. I actually got it for $349, but it had a massive price jump of $50. I would buy it again at $349, but $399 is kind of pushing it, as it is quite a steep jump. But then again, for this type of quality, I am willing to pay for it. And obviously, being a brand like Xerjoff, they only use the best of the best ingredients. Having learned a bit about the brand before, they don't really limit themselves to a specific budget. They want to be able to create the best thing possible, and they know that maybe not those prices are for everyone, but for the people who want outstanding quality, they're not going to substitute ingredients or dilute things, because they know the luxurious consumer is willing to pay for quality. So I've got to say, I really respect the brand's approach to sustainability as well. So the scent is a 10 out of 10, the bottle, the packaging, the coffret, if you haven't seen that before, is just incredible as always. Thank you for watching today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.